Hello, and welcome back, dear friends. I'm your host, Lewis Graves, and this is Shayla Shivers, Theater of the Mind. Episode titled, My Reflection. In the hushed corners of our lives, we often stumble upon objects that seem to whisper secrets from the past. They carry tales that intertwine with our own, revealing truths we may not quite be ready to face.
What a find! I've always had a soft spot for antiques, perhaps because they carry echoes of lives once lived. One sunny Saturday morning, I found myself helping a dear friend clean out her grandmother's old house. As I wandered through the dusty rooms, the air thick with the scent of aged wood and nostalgia, I felt a thrill of excitement. Each piece of furniture, every knickknack, held a story waiting to be uncovered. When I ventured into the attic, something caught my eye. A beautifully ornate mirror leaning against a weathered armoire. Its frame was intricately carved with swirling patterns, and the glass had a slightly warped quality, giving it an almost ethereal presence. I felt an inexplicable urge to take it home, as if it had been waiting for me all along. After a brief discussion with my friend's family, they graciously agreed to let me keep it. Once I set it up in my cozy little apartment, I admired my reflection, appreciating how the soft light caressed my features. But as days turned into weeks, I began to notice something unsettling. Sometimes the mirror seemed to show more than just my image. It felt as if it captured moments that extended beyond my reality. The Descent. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at the office, I found myself standing before the mirror, brushing my hair. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw a shadow flicker behind me. I turned quickly, but the room was empty. Shaking off the feeling, I attributed it to fatigue. Yet, these occurrences grew more frequent. I would catch glimpses of figures in the mirror that weren't there when I turned around. Sometimes they resembled familiar faces, friends, family, but twisted, contorted in ways that were unsettling. Other times, I saw shapes and shadows that had no discernible form. Each glimpse sent a chill down my spine, yet an insatiable curiosity kept drawing me back to the mirror, longing to understand what it was trying to reveal. One night, while preparing for bed, I found myself staring into the mirror longer than usual. The reflection shimmered, and for a fleeting moment, I thought I saw a cherished memory, a scene from my childhood, playing in the park with my long-lost friend, Sarah, who had moved away years ago. The joy on my face was palpable, but then the image shifted, and I saw Sarah's expression turn to one of terror, as if warning me. Confused and frightened, I pulled away from the mirror. That night, I struggled to sleep, haunted by Sarah's terrified face. The next day, I decided to research the mirror's origins. What I discovered chilled me to the bone. It had belonged to a woman who had mysteriously vanished under strange circumstances. Rumors suggested the mirror was cursed, trapping the souls of those who looked into it too long. Am I really? Despite the warnings, I felt an irresistible pull toward the mirror. I found myself standing before it more often, trying to decipher its messages. The figures and shadows grew more vivid, and I could almost hear whispers echoing from the glass. They spoke of regrets, fears, and moments I had buried deep within myself. One stormy evening, I resolved to confront whatever was in the mirror. My heart raced as I stood before it, and I called out, "Show me what you want!" The surface rippled violently, pulling me into a vision. I saw myself as a child, afraid, alone, longing for acceptance. The figures in the mirror morphed into distorted versions of myself, each representing a fear I had avoided: failure, rejection, and loneliness. They reached out, their faces twisted in anguish, and I felt their pain surge through me. Overwhelmed, I stumbled backwards, breaking the connection. The mirror's surface returned to normal, but the weight of that experience lingered. In that moment, I realized the mirror wasn't just a reflection of my physical self. It was a mirror to my soul, a place where my deepest fears resided. Determined to reclaim my life, I began confronting my fears head on. I picked up my long neglected paintbrush, reconnected with friends, and faced the painful memories that had held me captive for too long. Each step I took towards facing my fears weakened the mirror's hold over me. Finally, feeling empowered, I stood before the mirror one last time. Instead of fear, I felt a sense of peace. I whispered, "You don't control me anymore." The mirror shimmered in response, and for the first time, I saw my reflection clearly. No distortions, no shadows, just me. With a sense of closure, I decided it was time to let go. The next day, I returned the mirror to my friend's family, leaving behind the burden it had placed on me. As I walked away, I felt lighter, liberated from the shadows that had haunted me. The past was still there, but it no longer defined me. I had found the strength to confront my fears, and in doing so, I discovered who I truly was.
Well, then, dear friends, did we just learn that the scariest things lurk in the dark corners of our own minds? And that, dear friends, is Shayla Shivers' Theater of the Mind.